Well, hello, YouTube land friends. I am back again with this time a dream from the Lord and then a message I got this week. And I've been thinking for a week or so that I was supposed to talk about this dream. And it's a very complicated dream, and I know that it's hard to explain it fully, but I will just do my best with it. So I had this dream in September, the 9th of September 2023. And this is how the dream went. I was driving in a car and I was at work and I was driving somewhere in this car, and it was in a place I did not recognize, but it was more rural. Like it was kind of looked like maybe Texas, something like that. And I was driving down the road and I got a text message from one of my colleagues, and I'll just leave the names out of this video. But anyway, on the text message, it read, "Be careful driving because the sky is turning black," or blackening, something like that. And I thought, well, how odd. And I started looking out kind of in the horizon, and it was daylight out. It wasn't nighttime, it was daylight, and I could see in the distance this darkening. The sky was darkening and kind of spreading like a storm, but it was darker and more ominous, I guess, than just a regular storm. And then I started seeing these tendrils of clouds, kind of like little tornadoes, coming out from this darkening area. And they were coming out, like lots of them coming out in different directions, all the way to the ground. And I knew that it was the rapture. And so I thought, okay, I was very calm, and I pulled the car over into like a driveway area or a road. It was a gravel road. I remember the white gravel. And I got out of the car and stood on the driveway, and the air was really, it was like how it feels when it's going to storm. I remember the wind and the way the air felt on my face. And I just looked up and I started raising up off of the ground and going up in the air. And it wasn't rapid at all. In fact, I know I've heard a lot of people that have rapture dreams, they say it goes super fast, but none of mine have been like that. It's always been a gradual moving up into the air. And I was overjoyed and I was so happy, and I was looking out and I could see this area getting darker and darker, and just more and more of those little tornado type clouds going down to the ground. And as I got higher, I started feeling, I was happy but burdened at the same time, because I was starting to worry about the people that may not be coming. And I was hoping that everybody I loved would be there with me. And I was starting to feel concerned about that. And the transitions in this dream, I don't remember exactly how I went from one to the other. But that kind of, I got up to the sky and that thought went through my mind. And then I found myself in a room. It was like a waiting room of sorts. But this room was up in the sky. And there were windows on one side of it. And on that side, it was like a monorail, like for a train of sorts, but it was a monorail. And the interior of this room, there were like 15 or 20 people in the room with me, kind of sitting and talking, and I didn't recognize anyone. And the room sort of had that feeling like from the 1960s. It had like wood paneling and orange, like orange furniture, and it was just very interesting. And while I'm standing there, I see this monorail coming, and I go over to see who was coming on the monorail, and the doors open, and it's full of children, like babies and little kids. And there were two adults, a man and a woman, in this monorail train with everybody. And they were like, they had authority. They weren't angels, but they had authority over what was happening. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'll wait here and my granddaughter will come. I'll just wait for her. But she wasn't. She didn't come in on that train, at least that one. And about this time, a lady, and I don't remember who it was, it's somebody I'm familiar with, not friends, but familiar with her. She showed up into this waiting room area, and I was really happy she was there and that I knew somebody. And it was kind of chaotic in the dream, like there was a lot of things going on. But the next transition was this lady and I were sitting in an office, and it was the same kind of feeling to the office. It was very comfortable, like you might feel in like a therapist type office, something like that. Very comfortable, very peaceful. And she and I were sitting in chairs, and there was a lady in the room with us, and she was sitting behind a desk. And she was asking questions, and I knew that she was going to do a life review. But it wasn't like it was a bad thing or I was in trouble or a judgment. It was like I was being prepared, like this was a preparation for something. And she asked me, I looked to the left of me was an empty chair, and there was a men's wallet sitting there, a black men's wallet sitting on the chair. And she said, "Do you know whose wallet that is?" And I said, "No, I don't." And she said, "That belongs to," and she named a gentleman from my past who was the first man that I loved, truly loved. And I thought later, and then I woke up. Then I woke up from the dream at that point. And I thought to myself, your first love, and I know that probably signified Jesus. But it was a very interesting dream and a very complex dream. And I can remember it so well, like all of these dreams that I get. Anyway, that was the dream. And so I don't know how to interpret dreams or anything, so I don't know what all of that means, but it was a very impactful dream all the same. And then this week, I got a message on the 19th, so November 19th, 2024. And it had been a kind of a difficult couple of days, and I had been driving quite a bit. And one of the days I was driving, it was really raining and storming the entire day, and it was difficult to get around. And I was driving back to my hotel, and as I was driving back over the highway was this enormous rainbow. I had never seen a rainbow like that. It was just huge and wide and so beautiful and vivid. And I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And then behind it was another rainbow. So the sun came out and these rainbows appeared, and they were so stunning. And I could see it all the way back, all the way till it got dark. So it lasted a very long time. Anyway, a day or two later, this is the message that I received. And it's entitled Raindrops and Flowers. Into every life some rain must fall. Isn't that the saying? Does this provide beauty or suffering? Just as I pour rain on the land, the purpose comes from the beauty produced. Did you see the rainbow? Here is my point. Look upon the rain as the precursor to growth and beauty. Just like flowers bloom after a spring storm, so shall you burst forth after the forging of struggle and hardships. This is the refiner, and all will partake in it. Smile and trust me through the showers, because I will always provide you with the rainbow at the finish. And then the scripture I got was 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 4. And that says, let's see if I can find that real quick. I thought I had marked it, but I didn't. 1 Peter. Okay, here we go. 1 Peter. And that verse says, rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. And then today, I didn't get a message, but I got a couple of words, and I thought they were important, so I'll just mention those. And one was, be still and listen to the heartbeat of the world. And the second one later in the day was, fruits of the Spirit. This is the way to live happily, the goal of life. I need a lot of reminding on that because I can get really tied up into the world and things happening and not think about things that are important. So anyway, I know this was a longer video, so I hope that this is blessing someone and give somebody encouragement to come to the Lord. And I just appreciate you listening and wish you many blessings.